Two very different films this week: a chilling sequel in Black Phone 2, and the unbelievable true story of Roofman. But which one actually delivered? Let's discuss this and more on the Late Night Movie Podcast. Welcome back to the Late Night Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Welchy, and joining me tonight, as always, is Mr. Pop Figures himself, Andy.
Hello, guys. Pleasure to be back. I know you hate Black Phone, Welchy, but what if they both delivered?
I mean, there's a possibility they both delivered, but we'll soon find out. And also joining us, as always, is our resident horror expert, Stephen.
Yes, hello everybody. I chuckled because I thought that the delivered was a pun on Roofman.
No,
but
it's
then
not.
no, but in my head I was thinking like delivered postman.
Nailed
Why
me.
did my brain put postman and Roofman together? So I'm laughing away thinking, how many that don't work? Why are you laughing? Anyway, nice to be back, guys, and looking forward to giving my review to Black Phone 2.
It's a good point because I was trying to get a pun there. I was like, how do I get Toys R Us into this? I don't really know how that's going to happen.
You could essentially say like a roofman's expected to, sort out a roof. So would they deliver by? But no, that's shit. It don't work.
And that's not
What are you on
what he
about?
does either.
No,
That's-
I'm trying to help with getting a pun into the
Yeah.
opening words, but it's not working. That's why it's not my job. It's Welch's job.
It didn't work for me either. So yeah, as we said, tonight we are reviewing two different movies. As Stephen reviews Black Phone 2 and I review Roofman. Andy will also be giving his thoughts on the first episode of Welcome to Derry. We'll also hopefully have time to discuss anything else we've been watching, as I know Stephen's been watching a few movies. But before we do that, I do want to do a quick little game with you both.
Here we go.
I am calling this one Box Office Bonanza.
Oh, God. Bloody hell.
Ooh.
I am going to tell you 5 different movies. I need you to rank them in order of highest to lowest in terms of
shit.
their
That's close.
international box office numbers. This isn't profit, so it's not like
Yeah,
numbers minus budget. It's just what they took home from the cinema.
What they took. Okay.
So number 1 being the film you think made the most at the box office, going down to number 5, the movie you think made the least.
Yeah, this is going to
Okay.
be like 5 awful movies.
Are you-
Yeah, all 5 it'll be like Interstellar and whatever other great movies came out.
Or like Scary Movie 1 to 5.
Oh, that's the next episode. Are you both ready?
Yeah, let's
Yes.
do it.
Okay, the first movie, in terms of the first one I'm telling you, not necessarily number 1. Casino Royale,
Okay.
the James Bond one, in case there's another one.
A great film, by the way.
Yeah, good film.
Next one is The Da Vinci Code.
Okay. With Tom Hanks.
Yes. And the next one is Night at the Museum.
Can I make a suggestion, Welchie?
Yeah.
Are these movies that came out in 2006?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Because the next one is Mission Impossible 3.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the final one is Cars, the Pixar.
Ooh.
So I need you to rank them in terms of highest box office numbers to lowest box office numbers. Feel free for everyone at home playing along, and obviously comment in with what your list and if you got it right or wrong. Obviously, I don't know. You could just say, "Oh yeah, I got it right," because I've got no way of proving it.
Yeah, true.
So while you two have figured that out, I'll read through the movies again: Casino Royale, The Da Vinci Code, Night at the Museum, Mission Impossible 3, and Cars. And as Stephen rightly pointed out, these all released in the same year.
I get a point just for making that.
No.
You get
Oh,
Yeah, minus point for jumping in.
you get a, I don't know, what's the word, like a tip of the hat, a pat on the back, whatever you want.
I'll pat myself
Yeah.
for the back. Well done. Well
Are you-
done.
Both ready?
I'm pretty sure that's what
Yeah.
you're like. Yeah.
I'll pat my back.
Let's
whatever.
start
Yeah, I'm ready.
with Andy.
Okay.
What's your list?
So in number 1, I went for Cars.
Oh wait, hang on. I need to write this down, don't I? Yeah. So Andy went with Cars. Yep.
By the way, this could be completely off. Mission
be.
Impossible 3,
Yep.
my personal favorite out of all of them, which I would like to be top, Casino Royale,
Yep.
the Da Vinci Code,
Yep.
and Night at the Museum.
Yep. Stephen.
That is
Okay, so I have gone with Mission Impossible 3 for number 1.
Yep.
The Da Vinci Code at number 2.
Yep.
And I only say
Oh.
that because I remember when the Da Vinci Code came out, it was massive.
Yep.
Casino Royale in 3.
Yep.
Cars number 4.
Yep.
And then Night at the Museum number 5.
Okay.
great.
I'm not confident. I'm not confident with. Well, I'm not confident with the list at all. But what I would say is, I think I'm really confident with number 1 because I feel like Mission Impossible 3 was the highest grossing film of 2006. But I could be completely wrong. But I feel like 90.
Against a Pixar film.
Yeah, I think so. But I could be completely wrong.
Okay. Give me a minute to work out how many each of you got right. Hang on. Okay, one of you have 1 correct. The other one.
That was Steven last time. Was it me this time?
The other one has 0 correct.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Oh, we've both done bad. Okay.
Someone has managed to really, really fuck this one up. Just double checking those numbers. Yeah. Okay, so I can announce the winner.
We're both completely off the ball then. Yep.
This week is
I think
Stephen.
I can accept losing. Hey, you got one right.
Stephen got 1 right. And it is not Mission Impossible 3. Mission Impossible 3 was not number 1. So,
okay.
In 5th place. Hang on, have I done this? No, that's right. In 5th place was Mission Impossible 3.
Really? Wow.
Yes, it took home 398 million.
See, I also remember, I think Mission Impossible 2, which came out in 2000, was the highest grossing movie of 2000. So I naturally thought that the third one followed.
Maybe.
That's where I've gone.
I can't confirm that, but it's also the worst in the franchise, Mission Impossible 2. The 4th, which is the one that Stephen got right, is Cars.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I didn't think Cars did, even though it's really
your number 1.
Well, yeah, I know it's like really well acclaimed now, but I didn't think it would do better than some of the previous ones or the further ones on my list, even though I'm completely wrong on everything else.
So that got 461 million, so still good.
Good.
In 3rd is Night at the Museum.
It's going to be Casino Royale at the top. I'm going to hate myself.
With 574. In 2nd is Casino Royale.
Okay.
Da Vinci Code, shit.
With 606, and Da Vinci Code number 1 with 760. That was not the biggest one of the year. I think the biggest one of the year that year was a Pirates of the Caribbean with over $1 billion.
Okay.
But
I said Da Vinci Code did really well. Like I said that in my rationale.
All of these films done well. Like I picked instead of I know in the past I picked 5 bad films. This time I went with 5 highly rated films.
The other thing, the Da Vinci Code is based obviously on a book, and the book at that time I remember was massive. Absolutely massive. Yeah. So the movie, like a lot of bums were in seats when that movie came out. Like I've just had this hunch that Mission Impossible would have done better, but because it's directed by J.J. Abrams as well. So
great movie.
It's the movie that Simon Pegg comes into it.
And yes, very briefly.
Yeah.
And it has what's his name? The guy who's dead now. Hoffman? Hoffman, is that his name? Hoffman? Hoffman, that's fucking Gears of War. Philip Seymour?
Oh, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Hoffman yeah.
So Hoffman was right, I just got that a bit wrong.
Yeah, it's just the first 2 names.
Cool, well done, Stephen. I mean, well done, you got 1 right, but you still beat Andy.
I mean, it's good, but it's like still pretty appalling. I mean, Andy, you should be ashamed of yourself. 0 out of 5. Like,
if that's the round you're going to win, why get them right there?
I would say.
Yeah, good point.
As I said, I picked 5, these were all very close together in terms of like the ranking of the year. So it was basically a guess. Well, cool. Let's go into Black Phone 2 review, which is going to be the title of the podcast and also the thumbnail. Stephen, Andy, you've not seen this, right?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Double checking. Stephen, you went to see this a couple of weeks ago now?
Yeah, on like a Wednesday afternoon. I finished work early and got myself down to my local cinema to watch it. It was a traumatic day because there's a Pizza Hut that is literally like across the road, and I've gone there for years and years and years. And I was going to have it was the night where I went to see Black Phone 2 and then I went to see The World's End, but I had like an hour and a half in between, so I was going to get some food and I had Pizza Hut in my mind, got all the way there, and because of some administration issues, that's now been closed forever. And I've like had that Pizza Hut in my life at that local place for like 10 years. So I was in a bit of a bad mood, I'm not going to lie. That really upset me. I ended up eating a Subway, but that's beside the point. So yeah, I saw it pretty much towards the back end of October. Has been a fair few weeks since I last saw it. But yeah, so I mean, do you want to go straight into my review?
I'll first just quickly say that in terms of Rotten Tomato, it's got 72. Which I think I picked it on the list like begrudgingly.
I think you did, yeah.
Because I'd obviously done the first one. And this is my lowest one that I've picked so far, which is still not bad.
Down a bit.
Audience score of 83, which is positive. I don't know why Letterboxd one isn't opening. The box office to date, and this has been out a little bit longer than Predator, is 127 million, which to me is still good for a horror.
It is good. Depends what the budget was.
I'm just going to check the budget on this film. Black Phone 2 budget 30, so it's blown out of the water. Yeah, it's done very
well. Okay, yeah, that'll be considered as a success.
Big success. And we'll find out in a minute if Black Phone 3 is going to happen. Letterboxd of 3.1.
Okay.
So yeah, Stephen, what did you think of the film?
Yes, obviously I will keep it spoiler free because I know that Andy, you want to go and watch it at some point. I know it's not in cinema anymore, but when it comes to whatever streaming,
it's meant to be coming into something soon. So I saw something saying it'll be like a month after. I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
Might be Paramount Plus, maybe. I know it's not with Paramount, but Blumhouse might have some kind of executive deal with them. It will be on some streaming platform. So I mean, I went into this. I enjoyed the first one. I wouldn't say that I was blown away by the first Black Phone. Like I liked it. It holds a special place in my heart because it was the first one that we watched as a group with our Limitless subscription, literally back in 2022. That was the first film that we used on our Limitless card where we just signed up with our lovely little pictures and living our best life. Had you said to me that you'd be 280 visits down from that point and going to the cinema sometimes more than you actually, go outside to work or whatever, I would have said absolutely no chance. But I went into it with sort of pretty high expectations. I was really interested because the first one was 15, this now's got an 18. So I wanted to see, I'm assuming it's going to be more dark and more violent. Quick funny story as well. I went in with, I've got like a hot tea flask with all horror characters that I use when I go to cinema. And I went up to get myself some popcorn, and the Odeon lady that served me, she was like, "Oh, is that your flask?" And I thought really she was going to tell me off for taking a hot drink into the cinema. It's like, "Oh, they're so cool. There's so many amazing horror characters on there. Like that's incredible." And then she was like, after serving me, she went, "Oh, could you come over here?" Now I thought she was like chatting me up or asking me for like a number because she looked very discreet. But she actually gave me some horror stickers free of charge. So I've got the Black Phone 2, Five Nights at Freddy, and Megan 2.0, which are now on my wallet. So I was like, that's a great day. I finished work early. I've got some free horror stickers. Kind of master plan of pizza going down. And then obviously the movie starts. And it's a really weird film to review. I can kind of like split it down the middle and say that the first half is on par with being almost a disgrace in terms of it's so slow. And when I say slow, it is painfully slow in parts, to the point that I was like, where is this going? What actually is going on here? And it would have then like snippets of sort of the children that the grabber has murdered, which is not a spoiler because that's in the trailer. You know what the grabber is doing. There's like these dream-esque sequences, which we kind of saw in the first Black Phone, and it has more of a thing towards sinister, like, you know, those videos in Sinister, because it's from the same director, of where it would show like bits of audio and still images, disturbing imagery, and then show you something really violent. Well, Black Phone 2 has that pretty much in its first half, but just done more violently than Sinister. And when I say more violently, I say like there is some, I immediately was like, okay, I now see why that's an 18 rated movie. Like, it's pretty straightforward. Even the opening credits are like quite dark and bloody. So that side of it, I was kind of like, oh, all right. But the first, literally, I'd say 40 minutes is literally a case of nothing really happening, nothing interesting happening, and then these slow dreamscape sequences. We then get to the second part, which then starts to take an influence solely, really, from Nightmare on Elm Street, because the dream sequences continue, but then the characters start to team up to essentially try to take down the grabber. And when we get to that bit in the second act towards the end, the movie then starts to pick up. I really enjoyed the third act of the movie, and I like the whole camaraderie of the main characters coming together and teaming up to try and take the grabber down. In the second half in particular, there is some sequences which are just so violent, but it's not scary, it's just more like action packed. So again, it's kind of a movie that's got a lot of different things going on with it. It is much more violent and darker than the first. And essentially the third act and the ending saved an awful first half. It's nowhere near as good as the first. Absolutely not.
You'd hate it then, Welchy, because you hate the first film.
But it was one of those where, I mean, I'm a sucker for a Nightmare on Elm Street. I love the whole idea of, you know, Freddy is this like boogeyman creature that is a sort of silhouette of the sins of the parents that have committed an atrocity, and Freddy targets them by going into their children's dreams and torturing that way. And I mean, because we've all seen the first Black Phone, and spoilers to anyone that hasn't seen the first Black Phone, the grabber's dead. Like he's completely dead, but he's using sort of the paranormal entities to return. And again, that also in the first, I was like, you're not really telling me the grabber's dead. How the fuck is he doing this? Like, show me how this is happening. And when the movie does in its second half, and then we get the case of, we now know what he's doing, we now need to take him down. I was like, oh, okay, it's pretty good. There's one moment that I actually laughed out loud, because they're basically at a camp that is for religious children. And like two of the counselors are very like godlike and follow things by the book. And one of the main protagonists, this girl, she's got like a romantic thing going on with, so you've got the main guy from the first film, his sister, and then this other bloke that she likes, and like they have a bit of friskiness, shall we say, in the cabin. But then the counselor's like really rude to her, and she just turns around and like shows a bit of blasphemy and then brings out the C-bomb, but in like this church. And it's so like offensive, but I laughed out loud. I literally just laughed out loud. And it was one of the few times in the movie that made me laugh. Again, that's why I say it's really weird, because that's like 1 minute it's making me laugh. 1 minute it's like really disturbing. Then it's really boring me. It's like a movie that every 10 minutes it made me feel something different. And then because the third act was the best, I came out of it going, well, I liked it, but like I didn't for a large period of time. So it is actually, it's a really weird review, because it gave me so many different things. I would feel like I want to watch it again, but then I can't face going back to that first act because it's so bad. Like, it is so bad. It was almost like Scott Derrickson sort of went, I don't quite know what I'm going to do with the sequel, so I know how I would end it, but I don't know how to start it. And a lot of horror movies have that, where sometimes it takes a while to get going, but when the storm comes, the payoff's really good. And we have that as an example here. But I still think that the first half is so bad that it still doesn't really benefit from that. So yeah, that's kind of where I am with it. One of the more challenging movies to review, because there's just so much going on. And I don't know if you guys had that film where every 5 minutes you're thinking something different, to the point it was angry me. I was like, can you just do what is said on the tin? Like, go back to basics, be the grabber, nicking children. And what was so great about the first film, I know obviously you don't like the first film, that it was simplified that he was keeping these kids in the basement, and then he had to kind of find out a way to defeat the grabber. there was also that paranormal stuff going on in the background, like with the phone ringing and sort of one of the mysteries of the film. You'd be like, what's real, what isn't? And that is there again. But I feel like it was done better and more clear in the first film, where you could kind of see what was happening, what was reality and what was fantasy, which is more clouded this time around.
Interesting. I mean, I would probably say the Black Phone 1 was my example of that for me, where I was like, 1 minute there's a scary moment, the next bit I'm bored brainless.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I know and I'm a kind of the what's the word? The wrong opinion.
You're in the minority.
Thank you, Steve.
Most people think. But I also think that this movie doesn't have any scariness at all. Like nothing. There's not a single thing I didn't get scared or felt intense. I know that obviously being a horror expert takes a lot, but a horror movie can still disturb me or make me feel a bit unsettled. There was none of that. There was just a couple of moments I was like, oh, that's a bit brutal. And obviously because a lot of the violence is happening to children, like generally that's a little bit like, I always struggle more when a child is involved rather than, I know that an adult getting killed is just as bad, but there's something a bit more, the punch is harder.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of it is concerning children. But again, there was part of me that was like, I don't really care. You haven't really given me enough time to like feel sorry for these kids that are getting ripped to shreds. Like Sinister is probably the closest example where, because I liked the characters, the found footage videos I found at the time really depressing and disturbing. And it kind of tries to do the same here, but it just doesn't punch because of how bad the first act of the movie is.
Yeah. So what score would you give it?
So I've gone with 6 out of 10, which for about, I would say half an hour, I was looking at like a 2.
Whoa. Oh, okay,
like,
that bad.
If it had carried on in that way, it would have been like a 2, maybe 3 out of 10 at a push. The second act ups it to a 6, and I think that's probably where it should sit.
Andy, has this made you want to watch it less?
No, it's made me want to watch it more because I feel like I'm going to watch the first part of the film and be like, what the fuck's he talking about? I really enjoy it.
Well, we'll find out. Hopefully,
not necessarily. We've been aligned recently in some of our thoughts of movies.
Not Good Boy.
Not Good Boy. Yeah,
that was boring film. But I feel like you'll be bored. I'll be shocked if you find the first half interesting. It is boring as shit. You'll like the second half. I think you'll enjoy it by the end of it. But if you say that you didn't like the first half, then you're just doing it to try and wind me up because it is that bad. Like generally, I don't see anyone watching that first half and thinking that it's enjoyable because nothing's going on really. Like you get away the first half an hour, and it.
So sometimes films start slow, but they build it up, and sometimes like I might not like that, someone else will. So it depends on how much they build it up. So, but yeah, without watching it, obviously, I can't say.
Yeah, I'm interested to see you watch it and then let me know what you think.
Yeah, I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
If it's any risk of it being worse than the first, there's just no point. Cool. Good review, Stephen. Hopefully Andy gets to watch it at some point and he can give his thoughts. Moving on to my movie this week, which is Roofman, which I know neither of you two have watched. It is something I watched last night. Yeah, last night. And, well, first of all, I'll go through some of the details. So a budget... Oh, that's wrong. The budget of...
I'm gutted.
Go on.
I was gonna say I'm gutted because it was one of the only movies that I really wanted to see on the big screen. Me and the family were going to watch it the night of the Celebrity Traitors final, and we were like, "Well, fuck Roofman for a laugh. We're staying at home and watching the Celebrity Traitors final," which was a great decision. But then it went out of cinema pretty much straight away after that, so it was one that I really wanted to watch, but it's not showing anymore, so I have to wait for it to jump onto a streaming platform to then watch it.
Yeah,
maybe.
No comment.
No
comment on that.
Yeah, well, it depends what you actually say, Welchy.
So, budget of 19 million, so not much at all, and a box office. I guess final box office. I'm guessing it's done. I know it is here. I don't know about the States. Of 32, so not quite double. Probably enough to be like, you know what? We made a bit of money. We'll take it.
Yeah.
What was the budget again? Sorry.
19.
Oh, so
they made about 13 million, which is
not great.
I don't think they'd say it as a failure or a flop, but they'd probably just say it probably did exactly what we thought it would do.
Yeah. Or maybe like a meh, like do like amazing. It put up trees, but we did
Financially,
lose
yes,
money.
because
Yeah,
on Rotten Tomatoes, it got an 86.
it's good.
It's
And
decent.
a fan score of 85, which is
No, that's
very
very
So
good.
pretty much aligned.
And then a Letterboxd score of 3.5, only 1.1
Okay.
worse than Predator.
That's a very respectful score.
It is obviously features in the main lead is Channing Tatum, also Kirsten Dunst is in this,
Yeah.
and Peter Dinklage,
Yeah.
Andy is in this.
Oh yeah. He plays the
Straight
Toys R Us
off the
manager.
Toxic
Yeah.
Avenger.
Yeah, he plays the owner or the manager of Toys R Us. And it's a whole other cast as well. I watched this last night mainly because I watched an episode of Hot Ones. You know what Hot Ones is? The guy who does the spicy wings on YouTube.
Oh yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had Channing Tatum on there a few months ago promoting this movie. And
Okay.
as he was promoting it, I was like, you know what? That sounds decent. A true story. It sounds decent. I'll give it a watch.
Trailer looked like really sort of good. It looked like it was an interesting story, and I love Channing Tatum and Kirsten Dunst, so it's kind of one that I was kind of going in thinking it's probably going to be what I expect. But I have a huge feeling you're going to give it a massive butt, Welchy, and I don't know why. I just got a hunch that you're going to say this is a pile of shite.
This, Stephen, is a pile of great. This is a great film.
Oh, thank God for that.
I was very pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed it from minute 1 to minute whatever. It's 2 hours long, I think. 2 hours and 2 minutes, I think, actually. It's really good. I don't know. It's one of those films, like you said with Predator, Stephen, where you don't know what you'd critique it on. It's a true story. I can't say, oh, why didn't you do this? Because it probably didn't happen.
Yeah,
you know what I
sure.
mean? Like, this is the story.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum said that he spent hours and hours and hours on the phone to this guy because this guy is in prison at the minute. And has got to know him well, and has obviously through those conversations been able to perform as him. Channing Tatum's great in this. Kirsten Dunst is good in this as well. No one in this movie is bad. Peter Dinklage is a dickhead in this movie, but he does it well. He's supposed to be. And it's just one of those movies where you're watching it thinking, this is insane that this is real. Like, it's absolutely wild that this is a true story. And it's not a sad movie in terms of it made me cry or anything. I was nowhere near that level, but it's like one of those like tragic stories where it's like, this guy is a nice guy. This guy is not a bad person as such. He's just made some bloody ridiculously stupid decisions in his life, and that's why he's where he is now, and that's why he had to do what he had to do. But the story is absolutely wild. Some of the stuff that happens, and then he obviously Kirsten Dunst comes in, and that side of things happens. You're like, oh, I can see where this is going. And obviously, this is a movie, so they probably dramatized it a bit. But even so, you're like, oh, I know where this is going, and it goes that way. And then, but what I would say, there's loads of times where I was thinking, and I said to me and Taylor watching it together, I say, because obviously we know he's in prison now, so I was like, oh, he's gonna get caught at some point. And I was like, he's fucked up there. Maybe that's gonna lead to, and that didn't happen. Like he got away with it for so long. I don't actually know if they say how long in the film, but it's just a wild story, and I was fully invested the whole time. It could have easily been boring. He's just sitting in Toys R Us for however long he's sitting in there for. They could have made that a very boring film, as I imagine it was a very boring time for him. But they made it interesting. They made it fun. Made it funny.
I remember there's a sequence in the trailer where he's sitting having dinner, and I can't remember exactly what he said, but I remember when it came out in the trailer, I laughed out loud. There's a bit where, it's him
she's got all her friends around the table. One of them's a cop, and he's obviously pretending to be law enforcement. He's like, you work for the sheriff's department or something. So, it's that bit.
Yeah, I remember that bit. He's pretending to be an undercover cop. So the whole reason why he has to be so secretive about where he lives and what he does is because he's an undercover cop. And she's like, I don't remember there being there's like an undercover thing here in Charlotte, and he's like, there is. It's so undercover that you don't know about it. It's one of those films again where at the end they show some real footage. Some of the real footage have been captured, some real pictures of him. and interviews with the real people from the film. Loved that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's similar to what the Smashing Machine did, where at the very end they showed the actual boxer wrestler, and that's always really good. And when you see it up against the actual, like, wow, they've actually done their homework, and they look really sort of uncanny, similar to. I'm assuming that did Channing Tatum look very similar to the.
Channing Tatum's a very good looking man. No offense to the real Roofman, but he does not look like Channing Tatum. And Kirsten Dunst does not look like the real lady.
That's two very attractive people in the lead role.
Nothing against Kirsten Dunst, she's just not my type. But yeah, Channing Tatum's had better girlfriends in his films. Let's put it that way, because he is Channing Tatum. Anyway, at the end, because obviously we're watching this film and I like the guy, and I just said to you, he's a really nice guy, just made silly decisions. But then obviously that could have just been because the movie made me think that. But then in all the interviews with real people that he affected from his decisions, literally all of them, the real life people, were saying, such a nice guy, like did nothing wrong, blah, blah, blah. Like they were all so positive about him. Even the people that he really hurt the most, which I don't want to go into spoilers as to what happened and stuff. All loved him. So it's just one of those, it's honestly such a wild story. I really recommend it because it's done really well. It's not like trying to think of other real true stories like Bohemian Rhapsody and stuff. It's just such an interesting one, even though you know the ending and you technically know the whole story. Like, you know, he just lives in Toys R Us. What can they do? And that was my big thing going in, is what can they do for 2 hours? And there's one point, an hour in, Tay was like, what are they going to do for the rest of this? Like, what? There's an hour left. But they do it really well. I think it's a really good film. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay. Quite high.
Which is much higher than I thought I was going into it. And I don't think it's the surprise of it that is why I'm giving it an 8. I just think it's a genuinely great film.
I'm now buzzing to watch it. That confirms to me that it's going to be kind of what I expect, but done really well.
Yep.
How long has he got in prison, by the way? Do you know?
So he's what did it say at the end? He's eligible for parole in 2036.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how long he's already been in there, but essentially when they first arrested him, before he escaped and this whole film started, he was given 45 years. Something like that.
Yeah.
40 years, something. So do you know the story of what he did?
I thought he just robbed places. But
essentially. So he robbed places through the roof. So he was called the Roofman because he robbed 45 different stores every time through the roof.
So they basically gave him a year for every store that he robbed.
Essentially, but the bigger problem is that he would wait for people to come into the store to open it up. And this is mostly in McDonald's, by the way. He did this mostly in McDonald's.
Yeah.
And he would then come in with the beginning of the film. There's like 3 people coming to McDonald's to open it up. And he jumps down or whatever. He comes in and says, "Morning, like I'm here to take your money, blah blah blah." And he says, "I'm not here to hurt you. Go in the fridge." He says, "Put your coats on. You're gonna get cold. Like put your coats on. Get in the fridge." Yeah. And then he leaves them in there and then lets them out as he's on his way out with the money. And again, they interview people that he actually put in the fridge at the end. And they were like, he was so nice. He was just like, didn't do anything wrong. And he did that 45 times.
The fact that he tried to rob a McDonald's, that's bad. But I still think that's a heavy sentence. I know, like, that's not worse crimes.
I said he didn't actually hurt anyone. I mean, someone could argue that they've got cold.
How many times did he get caught, though?
He got
obviously he escaped prison, did he?
Oh, wait. He got caught. He never got caught robbing. He never got actually caught there and then. But I think, I can't remember what they said. In the film, they made it seem like one of his friends snitched him up, but that didn't happen. And in the film, it didn't. I think... So in the film, in the McDonald's that he robs, in the one we see, one of the guys didn't bring a coat. So he gives him his coat.
Yeah.
And I wondered if maybe there's like a name tag or something, or like they've made a connect the coat to him somehow. But yeah, essentially he gets caught and then he escapes prison. I won't go into details of that. Sorry. But yeah, they said he also robbed Burger Kings and Blockbusters, but mostly McDonald's. And I think it's amazing that he did it through. Well, he just did it through a roof every time. I just think the whole of America must have gone, we need to fix our roofs. Like, we must have to have better roof systems, that this man has been able to do this 45 times.
Yeah.
But it's a very clever film. I'd highly recommend it. And it's made me realize I probably don't appreciate Channing Tatum enough, because I wouldn't call him a top actor, and maybe no one would anyway.
Yeah.
But when I look at some films that I've loved, I loved 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street. I really love this film. I can't look at his films and say they're bad. So he must be. I think I've just got to appreciate it. I do like Channing Tatum. I think he's a good actor.
It's funny you mentioned that about Channing Tatum. I knew that he was okay, but I didn't think he would ever do like a really serious role. Like, even in White House Down, which I love that movie, but he's Channing Tatum. He's funny. He's silly. The movie that changed that for me was last year when I saw him in Blink Twice.
I need to watch that.
That was
great.
Yeah. That was the film, because I went into that similar to like with Roofman. I didn't really know much about it. Obviously, it's a fictionalized story. I knew that Zoe Kravitz, who'd been in the Batman film, was directing, and I just thought it was a sort of cool thriller that they go to an island and some weird stuff happens. But the turn that movie takes, and Channing Tatum's central performance at the core, I came out of that and went, okay, Channing Tatum is an absolutely brilliant actor, and if you give him serious material, he will work with it and do a brilliant job.
I think that was the first film I saw him in where he plays a completely different role, and it's not what you're used to seeing.
No.
Like all other films.
I was going to say, I think part of his problem is that he got pushed into roles like Step Up, The Vow, Magic Mike. He got this reputation.
Do you know?
Yeah.
It's hard to lose that sometimes, and
also in Blink Twice, he starts in the same way that you expect Channing Tatum, but then does a complete 180 about halfway through that movie, where I was like, whoa. Similar to like Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey had that reputation of the guy that was just in all these comedy movies. Yeah. Didn't do anything serious. Yeah. And then we got like him in Mud, Killer Joe, Wolf of Wall Street, Dallas Buyers Club, True. And I was like, hang on a minute. Whoa, where is this Matthew McConaughey like come from? Yeah. So not saying that Channing Tatum's on that level.
No.
But it sounds like this and Blink Twice last year that people are now going, yeah, I cannot lie. He's really good, and give him serious material, and you'll get a really decent job from him.
Have you seen Side Effects?
I don't think I've seen that. No,
it's a good film with him in as well. Yeah, I don't want to talk about this film too much because most of the stuff will be spoilery, even though it's weird saying spoilers in a true story. But you know what I mean.
Me and the family will watch it when it comes stream for sure.
Highly recommend it. Andy, you have been watching or started watching. You're the only one here who started it. Pennywise, is it called? No, Welcome to Derry.
Welcome to Derry, yeah.
So I really want to watch this. I think I told you both in the group chat. I can't watch it with Tay because her biggest fear is clowns. Actually, one of the first movies we went to see together, because we met in 2017, was the first It in cinemas, and that did not go down very well. She was very, very upset.
Oh God!
But I will watch this at some point. So obviously no spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on my list to watch as well. It's when I get the time to watch it. I'm looking forward to it.
I've heard good things, Andy. Is it? Together. Oh, okay. There's no Pennywise.
Well, from what I read on, he doesn't come into it until like later on in the show anyway. So I don't know how many episodes it's going to
She's not going to want to start something that she can't finish. So
yeah.
What do you think of the first one?
I've only watched one episode so far, and it's good. I like it. It starts. The opening intro is really good and fucked up, and the end intro is really weird and fucked up, and you think it makes you want to watch the next one. So I obviously really do want to watch the next one. I just haven't had time to. But yeah, it starts with a bang and ends with a bang. You think, fucking hell, they're not going slow. They're not starting slow. It's if you've seen the films, you can see it's so similar to the films in terms of what they use in terms of like sounds and visuals, and obviously there's more in this one. What year is this one set in terms of, is this, because I know they're doing it backwards, weren't they?
Yeah, but this is pre the films.
Yeah. So it's like I want to say, because it's first film set in like late 70s, early 80s. Is it?
Yeah. So were they starting with the latest year and then going backwards?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not sure like what direction they're going to go in terms of actual Pennywise himself.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you don't see him in the first episode, but there are other things. I don't even know what to call
Well,
them.
he
Like,
takes the body of your biggest fear, right? That's his whole
That's
thing.
part of what Pennywise. Yeah, that's part of how he then gets into controlling. He actually, once he's got his target, he will then form into the actual Pennywise. But he starts doing things very subtly, a little bit like Freddy Krueger going into children's dreams. He kind of has a similar way that he'll invoke your biggest fear, but you won't actually see him. But I know that the It movie started very later down the line, because the It story is like a massive, almost like a free novel put together. So it'd be interesting to see what bit they're starting with.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much, because some of it's I've read, and then also I don't want to sort of give away certain elements of the show. But it's, if you like the movies, then you're gonna like the opening episode. Obviously, I can't say that the rest of the TV show is great and follows in the footsteps of the first episode. It might go downhill, but it at least opens with a bang. You think, or like you sort of get the introduction to the kids, and you think, oh yeah, another like Stranger Things type sort of cast with the kids and stuff. But it opens with a bang, ends with a bang, and I just want you guys to watch the first episode at least to realize what I'm talking about, because
I'll try and watch it at some point this week. And I also think like the first. Sorry, what you on?
Wasn't me, it was Andy.
Well,
Andy, sorry, Andy. Sorry.
It's also got Dexter's dad.
Did we see that in the trailer, Andy?
Maybe, but I saw it. I forgot about it, and then I saw him in it. I was like, "Oh my god, that's Harrison's the son, Harry. Is it Harry?
Harry,
yeah. And I was like, "Oh, it's Harry. It's Dexter's dad." I was like, "That's cool."
Yeah. No, I was about to say like Welchy's mic flickered as you said, but I was looking at Welchy, so I was I thought he said sorry. But I remember with the first two like It movies, both of them have a introduction that starts with a bang, like the first one with Georgie, and the second one at the fair that has that really awful homophobic attack, which is really tough to watch. I don't know if you remember from It Chapter 2. They're at the carnival when he gets like punched to basic death and then falls down with Pennywise watching on. But it's meant to be deliberately like nasty. And I remember both films going like, whoa, okay, we're not messing about. So I quite like that you say that it sounds like they're continuing that mold.
Yeah, they definitely do. And like it starts off like a creepy family, I guess. But the like what happens in that scene, you're like thinking, what the fuck is going on? Like I'd seen a clip of this scene before I'd watched it. So when I was like watching it, I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, and then that happens literally straight away in the TV show. I was like, okay, that is definitely fucked up. But as it sort of progresses throughout, you sort of have a bit of a build up in the middle, like getting to know the characters a bit more, the kids and stuff. And then the end scene, like, you guys just need to watch it so that I can explain why it's sort of a bit difficult to talk about. Everything.
I think it ends this weekend, so I think they made it to end before Stranger Things comes out.
How many episodes is it?
So I don't think there's many episodes. 5 maybe.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll be able to go through that quite quickly then.
I don't
actually know how many episodes there are. I assumed there'd be 8, because that's usually like the standard TV shows, but
maybe I'm wrong. Welcome to Derry.
It's only 8
episodes. Oh no, there's 8.
Okay, cool.
They might be releasing them in twos then, are they? Maybe.
Potentially, maybe. We came out last week of October.
Yeah.
So if it was going to end this week, they would probably do 2. Or maybe they do the last 2 that they do like as a double bill.
No,
episode 7 and 8 maybe.
I'm just a complete liar. Apparently this finishing on the December 15th.
Oh,
okay.
I don't know where I saw that it was finishing before Stranger Things. Okay, well, there you go. It's carrying on.
So it is 1 episode weekly then.
Yep, and at the moment, there's 1 today, 1 tonight, which is episode 4.
Okay.
Because don't they show it on a Monday? So it'll be in America on Sunday, a little bit like what Last of Us did.
Yeah.
They would show it on Sunday, and on a Monday we would get it on Sky.
I kind of didn't want to catch up, because I wanted to be able to like
binge,
go through it, but yeah. obviously I want to watch it before Stranger Things, so I don't want to wait until other things start coming out, and I'm like, oh,
Yes,
got so many
good
to watch.
point. Do I just wait to finish part 1 of Stranger Things, then go into this maybe?
Yeah, I've not seen anything. Fortunately, like nothing's been spoiled for me so
Me
far.
neither, but all I've heard is good things.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
good things about it.
Cool. Stephen, we have about 10 minutes if you want to quickly talk about Shelby Oaks.
Yep, I do. So I went to see Shelby Oaks on last Friday. Yeah, it was last Friday.
So this film, right? And I am convinced, and I might be wrong, this is the director, who is a YouTuber, right? So I think this guy used to be, and still is, a movie reviewer on YouTube.
Yes,
That's him.
I think you're right. Yeah, I believe that you're right. So because this came out like last year,
in
really,
the States,
in the US, and then we're getting a UK release this year. And from what I've heard good things. Having said that, the Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie is not good. Like I thought it was much higher than what it actually is.
Did you watch the trailer for this, Stephen, as well?
I did see the trailer.
Because me and Beth I was planning to go watch it, and I was like to Beth, do you want to watch it? And she's like, oh, let me watch the trailer. And she went, oh yeah, I'll go watch that. It looks shit. In terms of she hates watching horror films because they're like scary and stuff. So I was like, okay, if you want to watch it because it looks shit, I was like, we'll go watch something else. So I can't remember what we watched, but we went and watched Back to the Future instead. So it's like, yeah.
So it's got 55 on Rotten Tomatoes and 54 for audience. Letterboxd 2.7. So I'm not expecting the biggest thing here.
So it wasn't, the reviews didn't back up some of the earlier reports that I read. This is also a very odd experience, similar to Black Phone 2. On the good side, and I don't often say this about horror movies, this was a horror movie that generally creeped me out. And not only that, this movie scared me in its opening stages. And I don't use that term lightly because basically the concept is that there is this group of paranormal investigators who do a YouTube channel. Coincidentally, the director does a YouTube channel, so that now makes perfect sense. And they all go missing. And the sister of the lead investigator is basically trying to investigate the disappearance of her sister. But the start of the movie is played out as a documentary. So we're basically watching like a Netflix documentary. So it's like a TV show in a movie. And they show the YouTube clips of the paranormal investigators that made them famous. They are done so well. They are so creepy. They are so realistic that it generally scared me. There was like this moment where she is in her bedroom and she's talking and you just see this figure, but the figure just stays there. So this face is on there for about 3 minutes and then it does a freeze frame and pans in. But with the music and the way that it's done, I was like, fuck, that's like really freaky. Because it's a little bit like cornering out of your eye. Is that a figure? Is that not? And it makes you have your brain sort of recognize it for a couple of seconds. And then you go, oh shit, that's a person. But it's done so effectively. Now, because obviously he does YouTube, he probably knows all the tricks in the book to make it really realistic. But I was like 20 minutes in, this is great. And I really wanted it to carry that on. Because I was thinking, we are going places if it carries on in this mold. The problem is that the documentary style ends after about 20 minutes. And it just becomes the sister trying to find her. And there were some scares, but the third act of the movie just did not serve any purpose at all. And the ending falls completely flat on its face. So it's got great potential. And this director has got like real potential to do something great. But he tries too much. He like, keep it simple, keep it to the documentary style, keep it like simple, effective scares. I was putting it on par with like Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch Project when I first saw that. That was the level of scares and how creepy it was. But unlike with Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch Project that followed that through, it doesn't. And I hated the ending. Like, I absolutely hated the ending of this movie. The ending of this movie is so bad, it generally like pissed me off. If it had just stayed in the documentary format, which would have been more effective and scary, great. But its third act just falls apart. again, it's almost like he got up to a point and was like, no, I need to now change it. And like, there's this whole sequence where the sister goes to the prison of where they filmed the YouTube video, and it goes on for about 15 minutes. Nothing happens. Literally nothing happens. It then leads into a house, which then the third act plays out, but it's just done so poorly. And the acting becomes really shit and shoddily. So literally, you could split it in two halves. Opposite to Black Phone, where I hated the first act, but the third act saved it. This is like a roles reverse. And it was really, really frustrating because I thought this could be like right up there for horror movie of the year or movie of the year if it carries on. Generally, I was so creeped out in that 25-minute spell, but no, it fell apart after that.
That's a shame because I've heard it's good and heard it was scary, which sounded like it could have been. But yeah, this director.
It's just such.
Go on.
Sorry, go on. No, I was just going to say that it's just such a simple concept. I just don't know why you would change that. Like you had it, you've got it right there. Like that, the scares are effective, and the fact that he knows YouTube, he probably knows all the little tricks to make it even more effective. Because the way that documentary film was like playing out, I was like, this generally started to feel real.
Mm-hmm.
That's how believable it was. And I was thinking, this is like Paranormal Activity all over again, where it generally feels like you're watching a real life couple who are slowly getting terrorized and possessed by a demon. And like with all of those films, just stick to what you're doing.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I have no idea why he changed his mind halfway through.
I remember this because I remember this film. I don't know where I saw it on Instagram or something, and I saw the director's name, and I'm like, I know that name. And this guy is one of the guys I was watching last year randomly when I was watching, watching for the first time the whole Alien franchise. I was watching his reviews after watching my movies, so like kind of seeing if I agreed with him. So I got to know his name. He's got like over 1 million subscribers, I think. He's like a well-known movie reviewer. And then for him to have his own movie and see it, I was like, oh shit, that's the guy. So he's not only reviewing films now; he's now making his own. I think that's a bit weird because if I looked at, he's still reviewing movies. So to have I know it's not like a mainstream director, but for him to be able to go and critique a film, then release something that doesn't do very well, it's like, well, you don't really know what you're talking about, do you?
Yeah, it's kind of making you realize that you're not very good at your job because they always say that movie reviews are just failed directors,
which it sounds like it could be, but hopefully he's got potential to do better. Cool. I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I know you've got other things to talk about, but we'll have to save that for another time.
Did you want me to give you a score for Shelby Oaks as well?
Give me a time. Say a score.
Yeah. Sorry. I have to give it the same as Black Phone 2. It sits at a 6 out of 10.
That is much higher than I thought you were going to say, Stephen.
Well, it's just because the first 20 minutes is so good. I have to praise it for that. And I'm not trying to be over the top. That's probably the best 20 minutes of a horror movie that I've seen for a long, long time. So that's where it gets its 6 out of 10. The rest of it of the movie doesn't get a score for me.
Wow.
Literally.
Okay.
The rest of the movie falls apart. That 20-minute spell is unbelievable as an experience. So that's quite where I sit with it.
So just so you're aware, because I know you want to know this, that was your 96th review on the podcast.
Oh, 4 to go.
So very close to that 100 mark.
Very,
obviously,
very close.
Next week we will be doing Uncut Gems, which will be getting closer to your 100 mark. But yeah, we will see what your 100th movie will be.
I mean, I've already got Good Fortune, but I can save that for next week.
Yeah.
But that would take it to 98. Running Man will be 99, and then we'll be at the
That could be a good one.
Yeah, I've got to pick a good one for that.
So that's going to do it for tonight's episode of the Late Night Movie Podcast. Let us know what you thought of the movies we discussed today. Did you enjoy Black Phone 2 or Roofman or Shelby Oaks? Drop your thoughts in the comments or tag us on socials at the Late Night Pods. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed the episode, please make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you are listening. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe, and click or ring the bell so you don't miss next week's episode. Speaking of which, next time we will be celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Late Night Movie Podcast with a very special episode, so don't miss it. Until then, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I've been your host, Welchy, joined as always by my co-hosts, Andy.
Thank you as always, guys. It's been a pleasure and can't wait for the next episode.
And Stephen.
Yeah, been a pleasure as always, and we're getting close to that 100 mark, and cannot wait to celebrate in style 1 year of the Late Night Movie Podcast. That's gonna be a good one.
Thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time.